Hello everyone, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Keisha and welcome to a new reading vlog. So I'm actually recording this the same time that I'm recording the end of this vlog because as I was editing, I realized that I forgot to record an intro. So here it is. This is my first reading vlog and I wanted you guys to pick my first book for my Christmas reads. So I posted a poll over on Instagram and I'm showing you guys the results of the poll now as I checked it. There was no surprise here that you guys wanted me to read Holly Chase. I have been wanting to read The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand for a few years now, and every year it is always my last priority book. So this year I wanted to make it a top priority, and clearly you guys did too. So I'm going to be reading that one. It's essentially just a young adult Scrooge / A Christmas Carol retelling, and it follows our main character Holly Chase, who was a Scrooge, and she was visited by the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future, did not change her ways, and now she has died and is a part of an organization called Project Scrooge, and she is helping other Scrooges in the future to not end up like her, I guess. So, yeah, that's basically the premise of the book. We're going to go ahead and get started in it. So, welcome to the vlog. Okay, y'all, I am so sorry. Everybody loves The Afterlife of Holly Chase, so I know that I've got some potentially harsh comments coming at me, but I am like not even 10 chapters in, and I'm just really not feeling it. The YA in this, like I've read YA books and loved them. I'm trying to look at my shelves, like Dash and Lily's Book of Dares is a YA Christmas romance. 10 Blind Dates is a YA Christmas romance that is my favorite. I've also read The Summer I Turned Pretty series, and I really love that. What else have I read? All I Want for Christmas is a YA. I've just read so many YA romances and enjoyed them that I know that I can enjoy some, and not that this is just a romance, but it's very hokey, and I know I've been told that it gets better, but I really don't care. Like, I really don't care at this point. And at this point, I'm like halfway listening because I'm listening to the audiobook, but I'm not vibing with it. So I think I'm just going to DNF it and unhaul it and just say, you know what, I tried. Like, that is a book I needed to read this year. I tried, and it's going to be unhauled. But I did do another poll. So I asked you guys to pick my second read because the first one wasn't going well. And I gave you these three choices, and I'm showing you the progress now. From the get-go, one was sticking out more than the rest, but I gave The Holiday Switch, which I'm buddy reading with Gabby. It is a YA romance that centers around this girl who's kind of like taking over an inn for a month, and the owner's nephew, she bumps into him and they end up swapping phones. This kind of reminds me, I mean, he's not famous, but it reminds me, like the swapping phones thing reminds me of Stuck in the Suburbs, which is the old Disney Channel original movie, and I love that. But they start finding out secrets about each other or something like that. And so that sounds really cute. It's really short. And like I said, I'm buddy reading that with Gabby. So that was option one. I did add on, so this is Christmas again because it wasn't picked for the first one, but it was winning like in second to Holly Chase. And that one is like a YA romance that's like small town. It's written by a woman, like the woman that wrote it is actually a Hallmark / Lifetime movie screenwriter. So that's very intriguing. And then the one that's winning and the one that won and the one that I'm going to be reading is this one. And it's Once Upon a Wardrobe by Patty Callahan. So this is the C.S. Lewis Chronicles of Narnia inspired story that I said wasn't a top priority for me. But here we are. It is going to be one of the first books that I read, but I think I'm feeling an emotional story. I've been feeling that since AJ Fickery, let's be honest. So I'm really hoping to love this one. I know everybody loved Holly Chase and that one was kind of letting me down. So I really, really hope that this one is it. So I will keep you guys posted on my thoughts. So I am currently on reading sprints, my first Christmas reading sprints of the month with Gwen and Gabby and Jessie. And I have started Once Upon a Wardrobe. I was going to say Once Upon a December. Once Upon a Wardrobe by Patty Callahan. And y'all, I think I'm going to really like this one. It is a little slow, but it's like building up the story, and I'm okay with the book being slow as long as like I'm intrigued by it. And I really do love the Chronicles of Narnia and just like the story behind it and the meaning behind the story, and C.S. Lewis like as a person and as an author. And so I feel like this could potentially be a new favorite. I don't want to speak too soon because I'm only a couple chapters in, but I did just want to go ahead and give you guys kind of a initial thoughts type of an update to let you know how this is going. It's definitely going much, much better than Holly Chase was going, because I did not like that from the get-go, but this one I just feel like is going to be an emotional, Christmassy, wonderful ride. So let's hope for good things. So I am about to get on a little craft night. Hi, Jovi. I'm about to get on a little craft night with Jordan from Sorry Booked Solid, Gwen from Gwendolyn Kinzinger, and Jessie from Reading with Jess. And they are doing a craft night where you can take a like clear Christmas ball and you can actually do like little book cutout. So what you do, it's a ornament filled with books, essentially. I'm doing a poor job of explaining this, but I wanted to do a special ornament. So I have been doing a middle grade book club for like since October of 2020, but it even started before then when COVID happened. And I wanted to do like some online programming with my kiddos, and I wanted to fill the age gap of 8 to 12-year-olds. So I started reading online to them. So I have had a total since that started of 28 books total that I've read with these kids. And our last book club meeting will be this December. I've decided to go ahead and close the club. I did it for a couple years or a little over a year as a children's librarian, and during that time the group was called the Page Turners, and that was our logo. And then after that, when I started doing it outside of the library, I know you guys can't see this and the ring light's not helping, but I called them the Book Lights, and that was my logo. And so it's just Middle Grade Book Club. So I have printed, I've got extras just in case, but I've printed all of the books twice. So each of them have a duplicate that we have read. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut these out, and then I'm gonna put them on foam paper. I have an adhesive here. You can do this with sticker paper, but I didn't have it. So I got this adhesive, and I'm going to do the adhesive like 4 times around the corners of this and stick them on there and put them in here. So I think actually that this ball is a little bit bigger than what I expected it to be, because like this is the template for the cutout, and I don't know that this is gonna fill up. So I may do like the same books multiple times. We'll just see how it goes. But that's the gist of it. If you guys want to make an ornament like this, you can do all the books that you read this year or all your favorite books or anything like that. But I'm about to hop on here because they're doing this bookish craft night and I want to be a part of it. So this is what I'm going to be doing tonight, and I just wanted to take you guys along with me. Okay, so I did finish the ornament, and I've got little books like this, but the problem is these are like little 1-inch ornaments. So I do have a ball that comes apart like this. So whenever I put them all in there, first of all, the adhesive that I used, which is like a permanent adhesive, it's still kind of sticky around the edges of some of them, so they stick together. But whenever I put them in here, it doesn't fill the entire ball. It just fills the bottom, which would be fun, except that like it's a big ball. And I didn't realize I was gonna have this big of a ball. I thought I was just gonna have like a clear ball where I would like stuff them in the top because that's what other people have. But I had a friend make this, and this is the ball that she grabbed. So now it's like not as great as if I would have had like a smaller ball. So I'm trying to figure out like, you know, troubleshoot. So I have like extras. I could just do everything in duplicates, which I really don't want to do. I thought about trying to put something else in there, but I don't want to cover up the books. Some of the books are sticking together a little bit, but not too bad. But it is cool that you can kind of like see them if you move them around. But like I said, I can't add any more books because these are going to be all the book club books that I've ever done with the book club. So I don't know. I've thought about maybe doing like using this same template and doing maybe pictures of each of my kids, or like group pictures and stuff, and putting those in there. That might be neat. So maybe I'll do that to just kind of add to, so it'll have all of our books. But then also like I'll just use this same little template and put maybe like our group pictures or different pictures from it. It still won't fill it because like this is 28 books. So even if I added like 28 pictures, maybe that would satisfy me. But I don't know, I feel like I like kind of a fuller ornament. If I got it half full, maybe I would be satisfied, but that's what I'm thinking for now. So that's my update. I'm gonna put this on pause for now and I will come back to it. I'm not sure if I'll come back to it in this vlog. This is literally stuck, there we go. I don't know if I'll come back to it in this vlog or if I'll come back to it in another video, but I will definitely show you guys the finished product. But for now, it's still got like the page turners and the book lights, and it's got those in there. And then I'll probably add, I did grab like a box of, I've got different kind of ribbon. Like I've got a green ribbon, you can't really see that. I want something that matches though. I think I have like twine as well. This is like a gold that I could use that. I could do like a bigger bow. I've got some bigger ribbons. So it just kind of depends on what I want to do, but I will report back when I've completely finished the ornament. What the heck? Ooh, they're tiny. Get one. There's different flavors.
They feel so weird. Like squishy.
They don't have a smell. Ew, they're really gummy. I don't like it. What color was yours?
Wait. It looks like a light red.
I don't like it. I don't like it. You want another one?
I'm good.
Okay, friends, I just got home from work, so if I look a little disheveled, I've had a long day. But I wanted to kind of let you guys know about the previous clip that you saw. So since I am reading, let me grab the book. Since I'm reading Once Upon a Wardrobe by Patty Callahan, and this is Narnia inspired, I actually had a conversation with Gwen, Jesse, and Gabby the other day when we were on reading sprints, and we were talking about Turkish delight. And I was like, yeah, it just always looks so good when Edmund ate that in the Chronicles of Narnia movie. And they're like, you know, you can get this, right? And I was like, no. So I ordered Turkish delight. And I was like, well, since I'm vlogging this, I'll just add that in. So I ordered it from Amazon, and it cost me $8, which is not that bad, but it cost me $8. And I decided to try it with my coworker, Jacob. And so you saw what we thought. I'm not a fan. And it's not, like, it is gummy. If y'all don't know what Turkish delight is, it is a gummy candy that has powdered sugar on it. And honestly, like, I do like some gummies, but those are not good. So I ended up taking it down to the international student department, and there was a few kids in the office and they loved it. And I was like, we have better food here. Like, not completely, but I was like, I do not like Turkish delight. So that was a fail, but I did get Happy Meal today, and I wanted to show you guys. So I got this care package / Christmas gift from Gwen, and I wanted to show you guys what was in it. So there's a bunch of different things that have a bunch of different reasons, and I'll try to explain them. Some are just things that she knew I would like. So I'm going to show y'all. She has been like collecting this stuff for a little bit, and I'm like, are you kidding me? So first of all, I have these dark chocolate sea salt caramels, and they're amazing. I've already had 2, just saying. So good. And then she got me this pretzel crunch dark milk chocolate with pretzel and sea salt, which I'm so excited to try. And then I also, so one of our first conversations we had as friends, I think I was sick, and she was telling me when my stomach is upset or something that ginger chews or ginger, like, these aren't chews, these are just like the little hard candy, are helpful. And look at the little gingers on here. Like, Gwen was like, this is the stuff of nightmares. And I'm like, you're right. So yeah, I am going to try these the next time my tummy's upset or I'm not feeling too well and see what I think. I feel like I like ginger in things, but I feel like these may be a little bit like gross. I don't know. We'll see, but I'm going to try them. So I'm excited for that. And then Gwen is always, so if you guys didn't know this, Gwen is from Gwendolyn Kinsinger over here on YouTube and Lavender Mud over on Instagram. But for those of you who may not know Gwen as well, she is a vegetarian and she's always eating these. And I'm like, where do you get these? I want to try them. And so this one is a vegetable tikka masala. And this one is a mushroom masala, which mushroom is not my favorite, but I'm going to try it and see if I like it. But definitely this one. And I could not find these in any stores around here. So she sent me some to try because I don't eat meat a lot. Like, I'm not a vegetarian, but I could do without. I'm more of a side dish girl. And so a lot of times, like, I don't eat a lot of meat during the week. So definitely going to try those. And then, okay, I want to show you one thing last. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my actual Christmas gift is this book. So she got me Malice House by Megan Shepherd. And this is actually going to be the book that I read for Jessie from Reading with Jess's book club. This is going to be her February book club pick, and I'm her co-host, so I'm excited to read this. If you don't know what Malice House is about, it says that Megan Shepherd weaves a complex tale of dark magic and family secrets that emerge when a woman attempts to settle the estate of her father, an acclaimed horror novelist. This is kind of giving me like Home Before Dark vibes initially. I know this is kind of like a horror thriller, and I'm just so excited for this. And the last thing that I want to share is, like, I was borderline about to cry, but I was at work and I was like, I'm not going to do it. If you don't know this, I love handmade, sentimental, you thought of me gifts. And this is probably one of the most perfect things I've ever received. So Gwen made me this little ornament, and it's one of those book ornaments. But on it, it says, reading together since August 14th, 2022. And that is our friendiversary. And I suck at remembering friendiversaries. But that is actually when I had Gwen and Jordan on my channel for the first time. And I hung out with them. And that is kind of where my friendship with Gwen started. It was very unexpected. And she included all of our buddy reads that we've had so far in here. And she has it where I can fill it in with any future buddy reads we have. So I literally, this is a perfect gift. We've buddy read Suburban Hell, The Haunting of Avalon Jones, Ghost Squad, A Cosmology of Monsters, and In the Company of Witches. And we have future buddy reads planned. So, hold on, let me see if I can get this back together. This is like the hardest thing to get together sometimes. Okay. So she gave me, there's a little envelope in there, and all of our future buddy reads or current buddy reads. So we're currently going through the Find Your People book, and we are going to read A Cross Country Christmas together this season. And then in January, I'm going to be doing a reread of one of my favorites, and she's going to be reading it for the first time. It's the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. Then she's going to reread Verity, and I'm going to read it for the first time. So these are all of our future buddy reads, and I get to add to this as we buddy read more, and eventually this ornament will be filled with all of our buddy reads, and it just symbolizes our friendship. And I just think this is the sweetest, most sentimental, like thoughtful gift that I could be given. I mean, I'm obsessed with this idea. I already love the idea of having a book ornament, but this is just the cutest thing ever. Like, legitimately the cutest thing. Like, I am obsessed. So I had to share that with you guys. It has been such a good day, and I just wanted to share my gifts and also my, miss with the Turkish Delight. So anyways, I'm hoping to finish up Once Upon a Wardrobe soon, so I will continue to share my thoughts and then wrap up the vlog when I finish. on productivity sprints with Gwen and Jesse and Jordan, and I decided to vlog it. So we're actually about to come back in a minute to chat, but we're just doing productivity sprints on Patreon. But I wanted to let you guys know that I'm working on finishing up my little ornament, but I forgot to double print these pictures. I did decide to print pictures from book club to put in the ornament with the books, but I forgot to print doubles, so I'm gonna have to wait to finish this up. But I'm also hoping to finish this tonight, that way, or maybe not tonight, but in the next couple days, that way I can report back to you guys. I will say that I am not enjoying it as much as I wanted to, and I think I've had to really come to terms with that. So I am almost, well, not quite, I may be a third of the way through, and I'm just not enjoying it as much as I would really like to. I think that my issue, oh wow, I'm getting these on here. These are really sticky still, but I think my issue is that it's a little bit slow, and then also just, it's not really, I mean, it's character-based and story-based, but not really plot-driven. I just think it's really slow. I don't know how to explain it. And I'm trying to like piece together the little pieces of what Mr. Lewis is trying to say, and I'm trying to like enjoy it for what it is. But I don't think I'm gonna, I don't know. I think I've been trying to convince myself that I like it more than I do, because I want to love it, because I really love the Chronicles of Narnia and what C.S. Lewis symbolized in writing that story, and I love the Christianity behind it, and I really think that's what this book is trying to do as well, but it's just not in a way that I receive super well. So I'm not enjoying it as much as I'd like. I'm going to mostly just listen to the audiobook the rest of the way through, so hopefully I can knock this out in the next couple of days. That way I can report back to you as soon as possible, because it's getting time to post for the vlog. So anyways, I will check back in. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the vlog here. So I am currently wrapping Christmas presents. So I was gonna vlog the process of this, but I might in a future video, but I didn't think I felt like doing that tonight. It is very, very late, the night before this video is actually going up. So hopefully I can get it all done, and hopefully you guys are seeing this on Friday. I will probably stay up to get it up, but I did just want to check in one more time and let you guys know my thoughts on Once Upon a Wardrobe. I did finish this book, and I feel like I didn't check in a ton to let you guys know how I was feeling about the book. And honestly, I feel like this was just not what I expected, and I don't know what I expected. So obviously, the story follows Megs, and she's in college, and her little brother is 8 years old. His name is George, and he is sick and not expected to live much longer. And he ends up reading C.S. Lewis's book, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and he is dying to know where Narnia came from. It just so happens that C.S. Lewis is nearby, and Megs has the opportunity to ask him about Narnia, but he doesn't really give her a straightforward answer. He ends up telling her a bunch of stories about his life, he and his brother Warnie, and actually C.S. Lewis goes by Jack. And so it's really cool just to kind of see the stories that he tells and how you can infer or piece together how those stories of his life inspired Narnia. And I really feel like that is what the story is about, is how our lives kind of mesh into our story or stories that we write or tell. And I think that was kind of the point of this book. I think that maybe I thought this was going to veer on the side of the books that go into why C.S. Lewis wrote Narnia and where it came from and like the symbolism behind it, but this is not one of those stories. So if you're expecting it to be one of those stories, I just wanted to let you know it is not that. It is very much more about how our lives interweave into stories and how stories are impactful, how imagination is impactful, and how some of the smartest people in the world are the ones with the biggest imaginations and things of that sort. So that's kind of what the story's about. I will say this is a short book, but it read really, really slow, and it took me a really long time to finish this book. I do think it was beautifully written, and I do think it's a good book. I think that most people that like more literary works would probably really enjoy this one, but I think I'm going to go ahead and settle on a 3-star rating for me. So that means that this was a good story, but it wasn't like a new favorite. It wasn't like phenomenal or anything, but I do get what the author was trying to do. I do appreciate it. I do enjoy it. I think there's a lot of merit here, but for me personally, it was just a 3-star read. So unfortunately, this reading vlog has not been like the best in regards to reading. The first 2 books that I've read this month have not been my favorites, which again, this was a good one. I did end up finishing it, but it was just a 3-star read, which is about average for me. And then when you talk about like Holly Chase, I ended up DNFing that one and didn't enjoy it at all. So I am going to go ahead and start my buddy reads for this month. So anything in the future you're going to see, I think next weekend you will see a 24-hour readathon video from me. So my friend Gwen, we are buddy reading A Cross Country Christmas by Courtney Walsh, and I really have high expectations for that one and think I'm going to love it. Then after that, I'm going to jump into my buddy read with Gabby, and we are going to buddy read The Holiday Switch by Tiff Marcello. And then after that, mid next week to end of next week, I'm going to jump into my buddy read with Elizabeth, and we are going to be buddy reading a Christmas, what is it called? The Christmas Murder Game, and I can't remember the author of that one, but it's been really popular, so I'm sure you guys have probably seen it. But I'm really excited for all those buddy reads. I feel like all of those books have a really good chance of being great ones for me. So we're going to cross our fingers and hope that the next Christmas book I read is going to be a good one, because I have been on the struggle bus so far. But I just wanted to say thank you all for tuning into this vlog. I hope you enjoy seeing a little bit of a piece into my life and what I'm up to around the holiday season, and just kind of seeing, I don't know, all the Christmas content. This is one of my favorite things to watch, and hopefully you've enjoyed watching my videos as well so far. If you made it this far in the video, go ahead and leave a snowflake emoji, because this is a snowy book. There's a snowflake in the corner. There's a snowman back there. Like, there's snow everywhere. So go ahead and leave a snowflake if you've made it this far in the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, friends.